This is the Mosen Mortgage Program with Sarah Mosen. Mosen Mortgage is licensed in several states for residential and commercial purchases and refinancing. Call 800-662-9550. And now, here's your host, Sarah Mosen.
It's Friday, folks. It's great to be back here again, and it's great to have you here with me, Pat. How are you today?
I am terrific. And TGIF, thank goodness it's Friday. We do like Fridays, but yet you know my favorite day.
Tuesday.
Yes. And Sarah, you know what I'm really interested in, because I know you have a little research here. Yes. Right. On how does a neighborhood hold its property value?
We've been trying to get to this topic since Tuesday.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, so we will touch on it right now, Pat. Okay. The thing with property values is this, and I've had fascinating conversations, and people do get surprised and disappointed to hear this, but when you look at a property and an inspection that's been done, let's say an appraisal, it is not how much money you've put into that home. I know folks out there, they love their home, they have invested money, and whether it's the roof or landscaping or kitchen, bathroom, what happens here is that an appraiser will go into that property and look at the 1 to 3 mile radius. So what's happening in the neighborhood? Unfortunately, if there's any issues concerning sales going down and someone has sold their house for $50,000 less and they're your neighbor, it's going to affect the value of your property. So please listen to me on this. This is not a personal matter. It is not something that is designed to literally say, well, your house is not a nice home after an appraisal is done, truly based on your neighborhood. And that's happened. I mean, in California, where, the economy ended up bottoming out, values plummeted. It happened in Florida dramatically, Colorado, Massachusetts. Things are improving right now, but keep in mind that it is your neighborhood. So if you're looking at buying a home, and we have great programs. We have the 3.5% down program. You don't need to bring 20% down to the table. We have realtors on the ground that we can recommend. And most importantly, find out what's going on in the neighborhood. Make sure that you're not going to be living next door to the neighbor who's going to be difficult, or that you're going to have other, issues with the value of the property in itself. And the level of unemployment, let's say, the household income is helpful, and what type of facilities are nearby. Are there large or prominent colleges and universities? But here's the big one. It's not only just the home, but what the taxes are going to be. Each county is different. So
taxes are so important. And Sarah, you reminded me, I saw this real estate diva. I don't know if that's a nice word, but that's diva? What they called her on a cable show. And she was saying that the more rules and regulations you have in a neighborhood, the better chance of them holding their value.
It is. And I'm sure you were talking about Barbara Cochran, maybe.
Yeah, could be.
She's the diva. Yeah, I love her. She's great. She's terrific. She's that woman that, I look at her and I say, she's just that person that one day when I grow up, I'll be her. She is very good at what she does. And she understands real estate and the market in itself, and built that business from almost zero when she started out. And really the number of, if you're looking at townhomes, for example, if the HOA, the homeowners, are really strict and rigid on how the paint and sidings and everything is sort of kept up to speed, that means the values are going to keep going up, so the more rules, the better for you on values.
I have an HMO in my neighborhood, and some of the neighbors complain because you can't put your rubbish out until the morning of, and you can't any of your curtains have to be white on the outside, so if people looking in, they just see white, so there's a consistency. And so, but they're little things, and and they don't want beat up jalopies in the driveway, and it actually, none of that bothers me, and it actually does. And then the colors, I had a neighbor that painted their door purple, and they had to change it immediately, and they were really mad, but I liked the purple personally, but the association didn't like it, so.
Well, the thing is that I think that people do get surprised when they finally realize, one of the ladies that I was chatting with, wonderful woman, said to me, she goes, it's so great, you've given me so much information, and I'm so now educated about this, but she had no idea that appraised values are based on the fact that what's happening in the neighborhood. So some people do get upset, but they don't maybe realize that the rules are helping keep their property values up. So investing in your home is a great thing. Taking it personally when an appraisal may come in short, I would just say please take heart, because this is not about how you live or how much money you've put into your home. It's really about the fact that there's something going on in the neighborhood. And I go through appraisals with people if they have questions, etc. But the bottom line is another great thing, Pat, and I'm smiling because of the fact that sometimes values do come in short. We have programs. We do work with 96% financing. So if your house is worth $100,000, we can maybe go up to 80, 90%. So it's not over till it's over, Pat. And that's really our theme here at Mosen. We keep, going at it until we can get you that loan closed and get you the lowest rates in the industry.
And I know the other very, very important thing that you find folks at Mosen do is you stay up to date on every program that's coming out. You are very progressive because you want to make sure that you have all the knowledge possible for all the unique situations that you find from our listeners that call in to you.
Right. I think that it's important to be interested, curious. That's why I always say it is about asking the question and finding out. And that's what I do in my day-to-day life. So I do encourage our listeners to do the same. I think that if you invest in the fact that you can do better and you can save more money and you have that belief in you, believe me, we will walk you through the process and make sure that we can get you to that point. It's not simply about $5 or $10. I mean, literally, Pat, we have had savings over $200,000, $300,000 after we have refinanced somebody for the life of the loan. Because when you're done with paying that mortgage at a higher rate, you're giving them $300,000 of your own money after 30 years, which to me is completely insane.
My goodness, and my gosh, what could you do with $200,000 or $300,000? Oh my goodness, many, many, many things. You certainly could spend the winter in Florida, couldn't you, Sarah?
Oh, I think so, possibly.
Yeah, and they're beautiful, beautiful homes there. And I know you find folks are on the air there as well as beautiful San Diego, one of my favorite places, and Sanitas. I have a sister that has a place there, so I've been able to go out there and enjoy. And I know that you could even, I know the prices are high in some places, but for $200,000 or $300,000, you could certainly get a nice place to go in either of those states, couldn't you, Sarah?
Absolutely. I mean, it all depends about where you're looking, the neighborhoods. And as I've said, we have realtors who will work with you if you wish. But we're here for you. We can get that pre-approval done for you within 24 hours. What I like is that our listeners are calling us on the weekends because they understand that I enjoy the conversations and that I'm very interested in making sure that we can help them along this very important process. And it is a very important process. It is certainly not a process of getting financed through some mass-produced lender who is going to have someone who is a commissioned, maybe salesperson, promising you things and not delivering. And that's happened over and over again. I've had conversations with folks who've done that and come to us and said, yes, this is where we are, and at the end of the day, we are grateful here at Mosen that they put their trust in us and that we can help them along this very important process, Pat.
Yes, and it's worth mentioning that whoever you start the process with at Mosen is who stays with you right from the beginning to the end. And I know my sister, whose name I will not mention. I have 4 sisters, so you can't even guess which sister, but she did a refi recently with a savings bank, and oh my gosh, every time she just called to see what the status was, she had to go through 3 or 4 people, explain the whole scenario, and then maybe at the end of all this explaining and phone calling and people, they'd say, oh, so-and-so who's handling things for you right now won't be back till Friday, and it was so frustrating for her, and she finally got it all done. But when I said to her, how come? You should have asked me. And she's like, next time I will. All right, I got it. And she's got your number now, Sarah, that's for sure. But Marita is saying, number or not, You better give it out right now because we're winding down for Friday, and it's been a long, wonderful week, but a long week, right, Marita? You've been busy and doing great stuff. And
yeah, she's
okay. Mosen Mortgage, a 24/7, a free phone call. They take your call live, no matter what time you call, what day or night, and Sarah will call you back if you want to talk with Sarah. The number at Mosen Mortgage, and don't forget about Mosen Mortgage on Facebook because you can find out a lot of great information there as well. But Mosen Mortgage, 1-800-662-9550.
Stay well, folks.
This has been the Mosen Mortgage Program with Sarah Mosen. Mosen Mortgage is licensed in several states for residential and commercial purchases and refinancing. Call 800-662-9550.